All right. We're going to do another cleanse. All right. So, we're going to do a chakra cleanse this time, right? So this is like a 7-week type wellness protocol. And I love the chakras because it goes through like all of our base. It goes through all of our different needs and the different aspects of ourselves that sometimes we overlook when we think about wellness. And for me, a major component of wellness, the one that I specialize in, is really peace. Peace and happiness. How to maintain my peace when I can't be happy, right? And sometimes it's a struggle. And I'm going to go through like our energetic body a little bit. Not too much, just because I don't like to get caught up in vocabulary, because this thing is not specific to a name. When we talk about these energy centers, these energy, this energy vortex that emits and receives life force energy, right? All cultures talk about it. They may use a different name for it, but we understand energy. And so let's go through that. This week, we're going to deal with the root chakra. All right, so the root chakra is like our first physical chakra. Now, it's a lot of chakras, right? So just like we have veins, we have meridians, and these are like this is like our energetic pathway. It goes through our body. It extends outside of our body. You ever feel somebody walk up on you? They didn't touch you, but you could feel them. That's your energetic body. When somebody walks through the door, you feel that. Boom, ooh, they came through with that attitude. You feel that. Somebody walk through, you can feel that they're smiling behind them. That's their energy. You can feel that. We can throw it. We can use it to heal ourselves, right? And I'm going to deal with this root chakra today. This one deals with our survival and our security. Our physical survival, food, water, shelter, love, companionship, right? Non-physical even, belonging, acceptance, being valued, dealing with your family, dealing with your culture, and really seeing how you fit into that. So it's the I within the we. So it's you in the collective, how you feel, because we're talking about our energetic body, our emotions, how we feel, because how you feel matters. Feeling good matters, right? And so a lot of how we learn to deal with, to keep these chakra, these energy centers operational to our benefit, because they're always operating, right? We are always going to be, even when it's blocked, we can receive energy. We just might not be getting the type of energy we want. We might not be getting the volume we need to keep us energetically present to deal with survival and security, right? Food, water, shelter. Do we have the energy to love another person or even receive the love? And we learn this in our childhood. Were you protected as a child? Were you victimized as a child? Did you find remedy for the problem as a child? So for myself, I'm just going to give like an example. So I came from a really loving family. So I felt fortified. I was safe. My mother was very overprotective. I was safe and secure in that manner in my home. Now, when I went to school, I did not fit in. I did not fit in with my peers. I was hyper, maybe emotionally inappropriate. I don't know. Happier than most all the time. I had people say, you smile so much. Or whatever. All of these different things. For whatever reason, I didn't fit in with my peers in the classroom setting where I spent the majority of my day. And so one of the things that I did to remedy that, and of course it was my parents taking lead on that because I was being raised, I'm a child. But they made sure that I was involved and a lot of extracurricular activities. I was always in clubs. I played sports. I was in a band. I was on the orchestra. I did sports camp every summer. I sang. I was on the choir. And so even though I didn't have that core classroom support from my peers, that feeling of belonging there, I still had personal connection to build with people with like interests. So that made me feel valuable. And if you ever played on any kind of team, you know, it's really a disadvantage even to yourself if you are not open or giving to another teammate, because, you know, your win depends on the collective. And our root chakra works a lot like that too. You know, it's like being able to be valued, seeing value. These are base needs that we have. And I was just like, so, you know, it doesn't have to be so extreme, but it could be very detrimental if this child who did not have friends in school, who spends the bulk of their day in school, did not have an outlet to have other social connection and connect and feel valued, right? These are just one of the ways that dealing with my root chakra works. So when it comes to like ideals of beauty within your community, I wear my hair braided a lot. And so I always, and I feel beautiful, I'll throw a gown on with my braids on. This is part of my cultural identity. And so with my children, so one of the things that I do for my children, not to make them stronger, but because this is a part of our cultural identity. And this is a part of your root chakra, being able to stand up for yourself. In the small, it does not always have to be like the big way. So I had to fight the school. I had to fight today. Sometimes the fight is in feeling like in your personal identity, feeling good, right? Within your cohort, within your peer group, within your community. When everybody else hair is to their butt and my child has, you know, her hair is like mine. Yeah, you gotta go to school like that. And you gotta walk with your head on and feel good about it. You know, no one else might be wearing a natural hairstyle. This is something she has to do. This is something that her child's going to do. This is how my mom wore her hair. My dad, my aunts, right? This is a cultural identity for me that's that's like closer than race, you know, like in my bloodline. And so when we deal with our root chakra, we're dealing with all of that. We're dealing with processing the trauma. We're dealing with releasing these blockages, finding the connectedness, finding the resilience to find what we need in our community. And sometimes it may be find our community. The root chakra is represented by the color red and black. There's, so one of the things I'm going to do this week is I'm going to make some red jewelry. She leaves. Some red leaves, baby. So I know I'm gonna make some red leaves. I know I'm gonna make a bracelet, a matching cuff. So I'm gonna get into my art because it's very healing, it's peaceful, you know, it's grounding. Like I said, this root chakra is dealing with grounding with the earth, feeling the connection to the earth, feeling a connection to source, right? Feeling a connection to source. And yeah, so I'm going to be honoring that. Also keeping my intentions on root chakra cleanse, root chakra healing, right? Making sure I'm dealing with all of these security and safety issues within myself. Am I able to provide? Do I know who to go to when I need help? Is my community available for my needs? You know, these things, the way that I feel like I am available to my community, you know, this is a reciprocal, this is a symbiotic relationship, right? We give and we take. So yeah, I'm gonna be here this week 1, talking about root chakra, wearing my red, you know, just going through the dimensions of wellness in regard, just using the chakra system to kind of navigate wellness this week and see where that goes. So like, this is a 7-week thing. Learn a couple things.